Kit Davey here. Today I want to show you how to make this beaded spine mini journal. It has a total of 20 pages, 10 on the front, 10 on the back. It's connected with a bit of thread, which have some beads. And then the cover is a piece of double-sided cardstock that folds over it and is kept closed with this little triangle here. Here are the tools you need to make the book. You'll need a ruler that has a metal edge, a needle, a bone folder, a pair of binder clips, a sharp X-Acto knife. You may be using also a pair of scissors. You'll definitely need a pencil, a brush, and then also some glue. I like to use PVA. These are the materials you'll need to make this book. You'll need a length of paper that is 3.5 inches tall by 27.5 inches long. Each one of the pages will be 2 3/4 inches, and I'm going to show you how to make a long piece of paper out of smaller pieces. So 3.5 by 27 for the blank pages inside the book. For the cover, you'll need a piece of cardstock that has pattern or color on both sides, and that will be 3.5 inches tall by 8 inches long. Then you'll need some beads. I would say 6 to 8 beads. And then a length of thread that is 26 inches long. You could use wax linen thread, or here I'm using some heavy-duty cotton thread. So I want to start by showing you how to make one long piece of paper by connecting several smaller pieces. So each one of the page width is 2 3/4 inches long. And this is a 9-inch piece of paper right here, but you could use an 8-inch piece of paper. And I'm going to mark off with my pencil at 2 3/4 inches. And then I'm going to use my bone folder to score at those distances, 2 3/4. And then I'm going to fold accordion style to create the first 3 pages. And then we'll have a little flap right here, which will become a hinge. But before I connect this section to another connection, I'll do the same to my other 3 pieces of paper. So I have 9 pages here, and I still need one more because our book is going to be a total of 10 pages. You could make this book 8 pages long or 12 pages long. It has to be an even number. It can't be an odd number. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut one more piece of paper. So I have a total of 10 pieces of paper for our journal. So to link the pages together so that I get 10 pages accordion style, I need my brush and my glue, and I'll get my gluing paper here. And the book starts off with the left-hand page folding into the right. And then we have this hinge here, and I'll be connecting the second section of 3 pages to that hinge. So I'm going to add some glue to that little hinge there. And then I'm going to take the second section and line it up so it's just right next to the fold. It's a little hard to see here because it's so bright. It's hard to see the fold. But I want to make sure that I get good adhesion and that things fold up nicely, and yes, they do. So I'll add on the following pages, including the last page. So I've glued all of the sections together, so I have 10 pages. Now I'm just going to fold it up accordion style and set that aside. And then we need the cover piece. We're going to be doing some mark making to show where to score the cover. You can see the cover has multiple folds here. So I'm going to show on this white piece of paper, since my paper is very patterned, where to put the pencil marks so you know where to score and then fold. So the first pencil mark or tick mark will be at 2 3/4 inches. And I think I'm going to put a piece of white paper underneath there so you can see my ruler better. So at 2 3/4 inches, I'm going to put a tick mark, and then I'm going to move over 1/4 inch and put a tick mark. So I put one at 2 3/4, and then I moved over 1/4. Then I'm going to put my ruler at that 1 1/4 inch and move over 2 3/4 and put a tick mark. And then I'm going to move over 1/4 inch and put the final tick mark. Okay, so I'll show you again. 2 3/4, then we have 1/4 inch space, move over 2 3/4, move over 1/4 inch, and then this last section is just 2 inches. So I go ahead and put those tick marks on your paper. I'm going to do that on my final piece. So these tick marks show us where we need to score with our ruler and bone folder. So we'll just go ahead and do that lickety split. You've got 4 little tick marks to show you where to do the score lines. I'm doing that on the white piece of paper so that you can see. And now I'll do the same on my finished cover piece. So then I'm going to go ahead and erase my little tick marks. I don't want to see those. And then I'm just going to fold in, starting at the left, on where I scored. It's hard for me to see on this paper that's very heavily patterned. So I'm just folding in. And then here on the other side, see if I can find, there we go, score line there. I'm going to fold in. And let's see, where is my, there, right there's my score line. So what I've created is kind of like a box. This is going to be the side that folds in, and then this one will be on top. So what we're going to do next is create this little triangular piece that the right-hand side locks into. So I'm going to show you how to make this locking mechanism using the white paper, because my paper is very patterned and it's going to be hard to see my pencil marks on there. So I have the right-hand side, the flap folded over on top, and I made a little tick mark at the midline, which is at 1 3/4 inches from the top and the bottom. And then I'm just going to lightly make a pencil mark here. That's about, half an inch, so like 1/4 inch down from the midline, another 1/4 inch there. And you can see that it's a triangle with the point over in that direction. And it's about 3/8 inch. So if the midline is there, and I measure up about 3/8 inch, that's about there. And I want to have an equilateral triangle I can just sketch. And this doesn't have to be perfect or exact. So that is my guideline for cutting. So I'm going to be cutting here and here. So I'll just use my ruler and my X-Acto knife. Doesn't have to be perfect. Be nice if it were perfect. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and erase my pencil marks. And that is the little locking mechanism. So when the right-hand side comes around, it fits underneath there and it keeps the book closed. So I went ahead and put the little locking mechanism on my cover, my colorful cover. And the guts of the book are going to go inside. And I'm going to make sure that the page number 10 is on the right-hand side, and that page number 1 will go inside. I'm just going to see how it fits, how it looks. That looks pretty good. And what we'll be doing is we're going to stitch inside, in between the first and second page. We're going to stitch that to this, this part of the cover. So this first valley fold is going to get stitched into the first valley fold of the cover. So, but I also have to remember that I'm going to be incorporating some beads. So what I'm going to do first is take my needle or do some pencil marking to know where I'm going to be stitching. So we're going to measure down 1 inch approximately from the top and 1 inch approximately from the bottom. Whoops, 1 inch. Okay, and then halfway in between there would be 3/4 inch, okay, because we're going to do a simple pamphlet stitch. And then I like to just use some paper clips to hold the paper in place. So the first valley fold is going to get lined up with this valley fold here. So I'm just going to snuggle those together, and I'm going to use a couple paper clips to hold them together. And then I like to poke into a piece of foam core instead of just directly into my mat here. And I don't need to use an awl. I can just use my needle to make the holes. So I've already got my needle threaded, and I'm going to poke holes here, there, and there, and there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and erase the little guide tick marks that I made. So we're going to start stitching on the outside, and we're going to leave a long tail because, as you can see, we need to have thread that dangles a little bit and that allows us to put the beads and a couple of knots. So I'm going to start on the outside, and my middle hole is right here. My middle hole's there, top hole, bottom hole. So I'm going to start on the outside and poke through, and I'm going to leave a long tail. That looks like about 8 inches or so, 7 or 8 inches. Then I'm going to go down to the bottom hole, come out on the outside of the book, and then I'm going to go all the way to the top hole. Okay. Oops. And then I'm going to go back through the middle hole on the inside, going to the outside, and I want to come out on the other side of where the tail is that I left. Sorry, it's very floppy. Okay, so the tail that I left at the beginning is over on the right-hand side. When I came out and up from the inside out to the outside, the thread is over on the right-hand side. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to tie a square knot here, just your basic knot. Okay, and then I'm going to prepare to put on the beads on one of the endy bit tassels. So I'm going to get ready for that. Okay, so I have my beads handy. I have my needle, which is still attached. I tied a knot here and it's still attached. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie a knot at about, maybe 3/4 of an inch or an inch away from the knot that tied off that pamphlet stitch. Let's see if I can tighten that. Oh, not doing a very good job here. I think what I'll do is I'll stop the camera and then retie that. So about an inch away from where I tied off the pamphlet stitch, I put a knot, and I'm going to make it a double knot. Hopefully I can do that. And then I'm going to grab some of my beads here, and I tested beforehand to make sure that the beads would slip over the needle. So I picked some colors that coordinate with the colors of my cover. I think I've got enough beads here so I can do pretty long series of beads. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So I'll go ahead and tie a knot so the beads won't slip off. Hopefully I can get the knot close to the stack of beads. Not very close at all. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that off camera. So I was able to get that knot pretty close, and I'm going to leave a bit of a tail there, maybe 3/4 of an inch or so. And now I'm going to add some beads to the other side. And what I need to do here is thread both ends, both open ends, through my needle. Okay, and that may take me a bit. If I can't get it this first time, I'll do it off camera. Oh, I got it through. Yay! Okay, so, oops, I forgot that I'm supposed to tie a knot here. So I'll go ahead and do that with the needle in place. Fumbling a little bit here, sorry about that. Okay, and now I can go ahead and add my beads here. And maybe I'll add fewer this time. Maybe just 4 instead of 6. Let's see, my first one's purple, so I'll get another purple one. Okay, and when I'm happy with that, I'm going to tie a knot. Oop, that's not very pretty. I can unthread it and I can go ahead and tie a knot, and I'll do that off camera because it could take me. And there you have it. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have fun making lots of these little notebooks and enjoy my other videos on YouTube.